Welcome to the Salt Labyrinth podcast. My name is Hank. With me is Ben Reborn.
Heyo.
The return.
Yeah, this was an interesting one. I think it was like it was okay. It did there were some things that I really liked. But like overall I was like, this is just, it kind of felt like 4 issues of exposition.
It is 4 issues of editorially, we need this thing to happen.
Yeah. So like I'll be real.
I just feel like I'm a bigger fan of than a lot of other people. But
I think if I was like trucking along in a more connected way, it would be fine.
If you'd read all 13 issues of Fantastic Four, Iron Man, Captain America, and
yeah, like if I was rolling through everything,
Avengers?
I'd be like, yeah, this needs to happen. But like last week, we saw Ghost Rider pilot a Celestial.
It's true. It was a hard act to follow.
Yeah. That being said, I'm a big fan of women falling through Earth's atmosphere and then dispensing mysterious shit onto people.
How about women who are just wearing a trench coat?
Yeah, that's even better. That's more of that shit. The ending made it pay off, I guess. Like finding out like, oh, this is all in a, like, is this the dream of a Celestial? And like that whole thing going on. That was interesting. Like now that I know about Celestials, that shit's cool. Celestials are cool.
Yes.
But like there's also part of me that just wants to, I just kind of want to see it where what was her name that she took? Ashima? Something, I think. I don't know how it's pronounced. I think that's the spelling.
Ashima, I think, is more correct. But I've never heard it said either. So.
Yeah, that's Ashima. You know, we get the whole thing that we've seen even just in the couple of comics we read for Labyrinth, like, oh, this is all part of a grand design. Like humans are just whatever the fuck. Like they need to be wiped out because of our grand plan, and it's not evil, it's just the way things are. I'm once again asking comic creators to just let that play out. We've like the amount of times that we've seen this in such a short period. I'm like, just let them, like, it can be that way. Like, that's fine. I'm cool with that. Turn it into something or do like a forked path thing and like let that play out for a little while or some bullshit. Like, that could be interesting. I mean, obviously you don't want to do it like, I don't want it to be reverted, but that's why I said like the forked path thing, because then one path you can follow it, and the other path you can keep your money making characters alive. But like, I don't know. I'd be interested in seeing like how does the grand design play out? Like, there's space in that for interesting things. Maybe it's been done before, and I'm just not privy to it. But like, I don't know. I'm also a big fan of like her. Because Franklin is connected to like all the souls in the planet he fucking created, which is like cool in and of itself. Like her then getting all of those emotions and experiences and everything, and like, yeah, that would. I mean, that's the way to create a good person.
Yeah.
Turns out when you walk in the shoes of 7 billion people, that'd do it.
Like, yeah. Chills her out.
Yeah. You know, if only we could do that to like fucking everybody. It'd be a much better place, presumably.
Sure.
Like, so I'm a fan of that, but like I kind of want to see what happens when you just like let the grand design, like, Earth's not that special. Just fucking let it go. But yeah, I mean, see, like when the Hulks find each other and they're like, "It's you." They just start beating.
That's what I'm about.
They just start beating the shit out of each other.
Spider-Man's just
Spider-Man's
trying
like,
to wait a minute. I'm between two Hulks.
Dude.
What am I, nuts?
yeah, that was so fucking good. Like literally not a worse place you could be, my dude.
I hate that the Hulk fight kind of has a non-ending, but
Yeah. Doctor Doom is just good times.
Doctor Doom, oh, so good. Mwah.
Just I love it. Just shows up.
Sees a all-powerful child, cannot help himself.
I also love that he's like, it's not enough to like, you can't just like live. You got to survive in style.
In style.
And honestly, I think that might be the thread because I was kind of thinking of this before even reading this. Have you seen the movie Megamind?
No.
You're missing out. Have you seen the bit about being a supervillain?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, where he's like, you're a villain, all right, just not a supervillain. And Bud's like, what's the difference? He's like, presentation. That's kind of like what I want. I was like, unrelated to this comic until seeing Doctor Doom. I was like, I kind of just want to see like a bombastic villain who's like maybe less villainous and more about just like being over the top and shit. Like that sounds fun. And then Doctor Doom rolls in. He has this fucking spaceship. He steals that kid after making the alliance. He even puts his hand in with everybody.
His spaceship with wood floors.
Yeah, man. It's fucking classic. I love it. Dude,
I love his spaceship.
And his line where he's like, I forget what he said, like something about like sacrificing whatever to rule the earth. But the universe. Like, I'll give it up for the universe. Like that was just fucking incredible. So like maybe more Doctor Doom is what I'm looking for. Because that dude is good times. As a reader, not as a person interacting with
and not as a subject of Latveria.
Like that would be miserable. But I do love reading about his antics. But
Doctor Doom's the best.
Yeah, like the other stuff was kind of, it was fine. There was some interesting little tidbits, like when they're coming up on the border of the negative zone or nothing zone or whatever the hell it's
Negative
called.
zone.
Yeah. And we get the little thing of Susan sees like a life with a husband and a kid, whatever, and feels fulfilled. And then like Tony sees a life of juvenile behavior and drinking and feels angry. Like that shit's interesting. I like playing with those.
They see the representation. They like see the versions of themselves from regular Marvel universe, and and then like the spaceship literally breaks through those panels. That shit's good.
That was solid.
And it's like and they get all their memories back.
And they get so that was one of the things I want to confirm. Like, do they now have like the experiences of both things, or is it just the one?
Yes.
Like, does it over? Okay.
I don't think they ever really bring up the Heroes Reborn time.
Yeah, of course not. Why would you?
But like, yeah, the implication is they just like they get their memories of their past lives back.
Yeah.
I mean, some of those characters though are like, why? The Iron Man, the Tony Stark that went into Onslaught was a teenage version of him from another universe. And now he's just regular adult Tony Stark again, because that's what Franklin turned him into. So,
yeah. So
that just happened.
There was this like that was kind of the other thing I was like. I find it both interesting and also a bit confusing. So I was under the impression that Franklin like put those heroes there, but in here it makes it sound like he just like created them from scratch as he knows them. Because like there was even that one chick, Becky, And Captain America's
Well,
like,
no.
you can't come
So
back. 'Cause you're
everyone,
like,
no, everyone who gets on the Ark, everyone who gets on the ship, those are all the heroes that sacrifice themselves in Onslaught. Those, Franklin saved them by putting them in his world. Every other person in that world was created from scratch,
okay.
which includes that Bucky. And like she was like, because she was like an original character for the Heroes Reborn universe. Is that version of Bucky? So she's like a fake person that only gets to continue existing because Ashema sacrifices herself.
Yeah.
And that Earth is just canonically hanging out on the other side of the sun from regular Earth for a while.
Yeah, sure. Nobody would notice that.
It's just that's how gravity works, right? You just put it on the other end, and it's fine.
I mean, it could be. Like, it could be there, but that'd get picked up in a hurry. Yeah. I don't know. Like, that's... I also, like, I mean, you know me. Much like Doctor Doom, I, too, am a big fan of a lot of power. So, like... Franklin interests me. Has a lot of power. I wish you'd not be such a baby. Just pick an Earth to destroy, idiot. God.
I mean, he comes to his decision pretty easily of like, I should probably blow up the world that I made and not the real world that I live in.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a fair assessment of the situation.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's scary. Look, he's been away from his parents for a whole year. He's fucking living in a swamp.
Grow
It's
up.
rough out here.
Grow up.
He was living with the X-Men for a while.
So, like, I forget if I would have seen him in anything else. Does he, like, do we get to see him, like, grow up and become a god or whatever?
I mean, there are versions of the X-Men with future Franklin Richards was hanging out. I think not that long before Onslaught, there was like teenage Franklin Richards from the future was the version that was hanging out with the Fantastic Four. And then like Kid Franklin got restored or something.
Does he always have like this level? They make him sound like fucking powerful. Like they put him on par with Celestials. Like, does he still have that shit going on?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, that probably gets into like, I don't know. Coming
That's a lot of Fantastic Four comics, you know.
Yeah. No, despite it being a lot of explaining,
He gets a little older because also they introduce his sister, Valeria. So then they have a reason for him to be a little bit older.
What's her deal?
She's just super smart.
Oh.
And like
she's a nerd.
Kind of conniving.
Oh.
Likes Doctor Doom.
Okay, go on.
I think she's originally introduced as like a teenage version of her from the future where she's like, yeah, my dad's Doctor Doom.
That's fucking
because of a
great.
weird story.
Yeah.
But no, she's Reed Richards and Sue's second kid. This is a story where like Reed is like stuck in Doctor Doom's armor and then starts becoming more and more like Doctor Doom.
Did we read that? I feel like we'd read something.
Think so.
We read something like that, I thought. Where someone is like stuck in something and they're becoming like that person. Maybe
I don't know what I would have had you read that was like that.
Maybe I'd read it for like...
I would have to look at the list of stuff from that sampler episode because I literally don't remember everything that was in there.
Yeah. It's like on the tip of my brain. If it wasn't with you, I definitely read like something like that reason. I know what it was. I mean, the Doctor Doom thing still sounds fucking familiar. I know what it was. I read Terry Pratchett's Mort recently, and it's like kind of the idea that whoever like is doing the job of death, of ushering souls to the underworld, like they become death. Like you take on all of those traits and like all the knowledge that comes with it. Like you lose yourself into that role. So that's probably what I'm thinking of.
Well, there's some like echoes of that idea in Secret Wars, which we read. Where Doctor Doom's remade Battle World and has like all the Fantastic Four kind of around him.
That could be it then. Or I'm just like
where he's sort of like replaced Reed in their minds with himself.
Okay. I might that might be it. Or I'm just thinking of the concept and falsely applying it to my memories. Who knows?
Sure.
It sounds cool though.
Yeah, there's some good stuff in there.
Yeah, I don't know. It was fine. It was fine. I got answers at least, and like seeing the Celestial stuff was cool. Yeah, Doctor Doom the highlight though.
Yes,
like he rolled in.
Honestly, like the idea of just Thor and Doctor Doom trapped in like some dimension fighting each other
is
just
pretty
like
fucking good.
Oh, it's so good.
When they mentioned
that gets like resolved like off screen.
Fucking lame. I was like, as soon as they mentioned like I would rather fight you for eternity, I'm like, take me there. Like, derail this and give me like at least do a couple of bit volumes, not volumes, maybe a couple of bit issues where it's just the whole issue is them fucking going at each other and then resolve it. But no, that was good.
Because
what
Thor winds up back on Earth for Avengers #1, and then Doctor Doom winds up on the alternate Earth and kind of takes over.
So
but that place is like a shithole.
I did have
one. All the heroes left, honestly.
I did have one question.
Sure.
What the fuck is up with Iron Man's armor? It's got like weird.
That's the Heroes Reborn version of Iron Man's armor.
He's got like. At first, I thought they were like cat ears, but they're not. Like it's a weird faceplate.
It's just a weird faceplate. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had an action figure of that Iron Man costume.
Nice. Okay. The other thing
it's
that
just
they
extremely 90s.
The other thing that they did with Iron Man that like, I think it's just conveying that like he's in the suit, so they're adding like a little thing to his voice to make you picture that. Like all of his dialogue is like, was it black? Like the bubble was.
There's
not
like
black, but
like the rivets around his bubbles.
Is that what it's supposed to be? Like just in the suit?
I think so.
Because like it was different enough. It was contrasting enough that I was like, is like the suit possessed? Is this not Tony Stark? Like I thought it was just very different. But after a while, I was like, okay, I can buy it, I guess.
Like here's the cover to Heroes Reborn, Iron Man #1.
Oh, let's see. That's a lot of wires and shit. It's like a couple steps away from being some Akira shit. Also, this is the other thing. I mean, looking at this cover, this is the other thing I noticed. Like, he has the red parts of his armor, and then the gold parts are just like muscly. It's like
yes,
kind of wild.
And he's just got those big vents on his back.
Yeah, man.
Like he's a fucking truck.
Yeah, the exhaust. He has fucking stacks on his back. Every time the fucking guy comes to a stop, he starts rolling coal. Oh, that'd be pretty good. Yeah.
I want to find and show you what like Iron Man's armor was looking like in comics before Heroes Reborn, because it was also fucking weird, if I remember right. But you can go on with what you said while I look for this.
I don't know what I was saying. I've lost it.
Okay. Fair enough.
So there we got an I'm gonna misremember the name. Is it Man Thing? Swamp Thing? Man Thing? What was the deal
Swamp
with
Thing is DC.
Sorry. Don't fucking nobody at me, please. It was an innocent mistake. What was the deal?
Okay.
Like it was protecting Franklin, but then like Franklin got scared and it turned on him because of fear.
Yeah, it makes anything that's afraid set on fire.
Huh.
It's like its power.
And this whole time Franklin hasn't been afraid. Like
No?
I guess that was weird.
No,
I
this
did
Man Thing's there to protect him.
I did like that it was
He's just sad.
that it set itself on fire. That was,
pretty fucking
that was
funny.
a good bit.
I guess this Iron Man outfit honestly wasn't as weird as I'm remembering. It's the War Machine outfit that was fucking wild.
And the War Machine outfit just like Iron Man but guns.
I mean, originally, yes, but it was like silver.
I mean,
Instead
yeah,
of,
I've seen Iron Man 2. What about that Iron Man?
Yeah, this Iron Man outfit's just like a shit ton of red.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of red.
But that's War
Wait,
Machine
what's
on the to the right of him, and that guy outfit's just fucking weird.
Yeah, that's very blocky, dude. What is with that Iron Man face? That's wonky. That's wild.
There's some wonky art. What can I tell you?
Yeah. Look, just give me Iron Man the size of a Celestial, please. That was good times.
Fair enough.
No,
It's a step up from the Hulkbuster, that's for sure.
Yeah, man. Like that shit was cool, and then that's like what I was like. You're just gonna get a bigger thing. Like, yeah, technically it's fucking bigger. It's like, oh, that was so good. It was just such a surprise. Yeah. I don't know that I got much more about this comic.
Do you have regrets? Do you wish you had picked one of the other options I gave you?
Let me scroll up quickly here. See what all the other covers were. All right. Man, that fucking She-Hulk cover literally haunting my dreams. I literally had a dream about it. Like not as a main feature, but like as a comic book. I forget what the context was, but I remember like seeing that comic book. Like somebody was holding it or something. So that's a fucking thing. It was actually pretty close. It was pretty close to the Ghost Rider one, I guess.
The Ghost Rider one was funny because I originally linked a later Ghost Rider book that was the wrong.
Yeah, I saw that cover, and that one looked better than this cover. It looked more enticing.
But the art, honestly, the art inside the comics, these are better.
Gotcha.
This one's better.
Yeah, you had the Ghost Rider, you had the issue 4 cover of Heroes Reborn, The Return.
Yeah.
and that obviously that's the one I chose. The She-Hulk one, like I think the one
issue one of the Dan Slott She-Hulk.
the Heroic Age, Avengers #1 thing. That I don't regret not picking that one. Like it didn't pull me very much. It's not pulling me now that I'm looking at it. I mean, honestly, like She-Hulk, I know I like She-Hulk stuff from what I've read, so that's a little enticing. Ghost Rider is like the new hotness, right? So like maybe I would have had a funner time because like that was just such a cool fucking thing. But like
he does not climb into a celestial.
I mean, you can't you can't expect it every fucking time.
It's true. Cannot.
Like looking at it though, the Infinity Gauntlet thing, just because like that, I want my bombastic villain thing. Like that's that's just like a fucking cool cover. Like that's some good shit. Looking at it,
it is. I think only the second best cover in that series. Let me show you the best cover.
Because like, man, that's fucking cool. It's just a good. It's like pretty classic, but this is very like. What's the word I'm looking for? I want to say dark, but like just because of the color, like there's a lot of black on it, and a lot of shading. Holy fuck!
I think the issue 4 of the Infinity Gauntlet's cover is arguably the best cover of any comic. Like where it's just Thanos in the middle of space saying, "Come and get me,"
and it's just like him, like all of Thanos. Like he's just a dude just standing there. That's fucking incredible. I mean, that would have been the one. I see. Like, how could you say no to that shit?
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's like some old magic, like animate wall wonk or whatever. It's just irresistible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like now I know. Like I said, I got answers from this comic, so that's pretty good. And the celestial stuff, like that's really cool to me. Yeah, I mean, I think the thing, like, where I would want to go next, if we can manage a bombastic villain, like, even if it's in the form of Doctor Doom, that can be a nice little tie. But yeah, I'm just looking for like, I want a super villain. I want someone who knows that it's style, it's important. Presentation.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
Hell yeah.
I think Infinity Gauntlet is still one of the options for that too, though.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's fair.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I'll think about some Doctor Doom stories.
Yeah, that guy is cool. I mean, like, as a concept to read about.
J. Jonah Jameson loves him.
Jay, yeah, man, he's the hero that New York needs. Just fucking invites him over. God. So good.
All right. Anchored on a Fence Soul Circle. Find me on Twitter at Comic Panels. Peace.
Peace.